create a cut file in Procreate, we're going to open a new artboard and choose the color we want to work with, which right now we're going to be building a pineapple, so we want it to be yellow, and then we'll choose the brush that we want, which is under the inking brush setting and the brush syrup. Then we're going to choose the size we want over on the left-hand side or right-hand side, depending on how your settings are. You'll draw an oval, drop in the color, and it's time to open up a new layer for the crown of the pineapple. We're going to choose green for this, naturally, and then we are going to just get started drawing. We're not worried about being perfect. We can always fix it later. Just let yourself be free to draw. You'll want to close in this path so that when it's time, we can drop in a green color just like this. And we'll also move layer 2 behind layer 1 so that the pineapple is actually on top of it. Now I want to select my pineapple layer and make sure that it's the right proportion. So I just adjusted that a little bit, and now it's time to open up a new layer where we are going to draw the sunglasses. Choosing black, I'm going to draw a straight line, or my version of a straight line, and then 2 loops to make sunglasses. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to drop in the black. Now let's review how to manipulate a layer. Make sure you're in the correct layer. Right now we want to make sure we're in the sunglass layer. We're going to select that layer, then go to the select arrow, which is at the top left-hand corner, and then you're going to go to the bottom where it says uniform, freeform, distort, and warp. Make sure you are on freeform and not uniform so you can manipulate that box freely. If you don't want to change proportions, uniform is best for that. So let's do that now. We're going to press select, and we're going to make sure that we're on freeform, and I'm going to manipulate this box. On most shapes, you're not going to want to break the proportions, but for this particular shape, it's already so wonky, so it's really okay for us to go ahead and break the proportions. Now we'll take a moment to make nice smooth round corners to try to fix my original one. I could just start over, but what's the fun in that? I'm just going to fill it in, and also remember we can fix any imperfections, bumps, sharp edges in Silhouette Studio later once we trace this. Now we're going to draw the glare with a white, and I made my brush size a little smaller to draw that, so it's white on those corners. And next we're going to work on our lettering. So we're going to choose, actually let's resize this mat. I want my pineapple to be smaller, so I'm going to canvas, crop and resize, and then I'm going to link it to make sure the proportions of the canvas do not change, and I'm going to make it larger so that my pineapple is actually smaller because we have more stuff to fit. Now let's make another layer for our lettering, and we're going to choose a super bright, awesome pink color, and we are going to choose my brush, the lovely lettering brush, to create this cute word, which we're choosing sup. It sounds fresh and trendy, right? Some people won't get it, but that's okay. Then I would like to duplicate this to create a shadow. To do that, I could either tap 3 fingers on the screen and choose copy and paste, or I could go over to the layer menu and just simply swipe it over and click duplicate just like that. Now I'm going to choose the color I want, which is purple for my shadow, and I'm going to drop it in. The shadow is in the wrong place, so I need to move this layer down and then slightly offset that bottom layer so that it looks like a shadow. Great, just like this. Now the only problem is we need to zoom in and find all of those little spaces and get rid of them by coloring them in with the same color that we're on. So we're just going to zoom in, whoops, undo with 2-finger tap, remember? Continue to fill them in, 2-finger tap to undo, continue to fill them in, more just like that, and smooth out this edge over here, and voila, you have your adorable, this one piece right here, make a nice little shadow. You have your adorable cut file. Now your cut file as this would be so cute, but you cannot export it like this to Silhouette Studio at this time. So first we need to make every single thing black and get it away from each other so it doesn't touch. That is so that later we can trace it. So let's choose one layer we're going to work on first and start dropping black in just like this. As we drop that black in, it may be helpful to go ahead and start separating those layers. They don't need to be touching at all. And that way you can have a clean trace later. This one looks a little funky. You're gonna see why later. I really wanted those spaces to be filled in, and it's gonna be the same with the vinyl. Whenever we cut the vinyl for this, we want those spaces to be filled in. So we're gonna leave it as it is at this moment. Dropping in, and one last one is the crown. And we will drop that. Select that layer. So I'm just going to each layer, pulling the black into it, boom, just like that. Now you can go over to the wrench and then tap on share. Okay, this is on your top left-hand corner. You're going to share it, and then when you do that, you're going to share it as a JPEG. Choose JPEG. You could choose PNG, but JPEG is fine. And then you can either email it to yourself or save this image to your photos. Whatever is easier for you, but whatever you want to do, make sure the end result is a saved copy of that picture on your desktop so that you can upload that to Silhouette Studio. And there you go.